Tonight on NewsWatch 12 at 6, changes in local government may bring change in communities as new officials are sworn in. We asked how Grants Pass new leadership is approaching the city's ongoing challenges. And the Bureau of Land Management is closing its public comment period for a 10,000-acre project in the Applegate. Details on why some support the project and why others don't. Plus an update on the $6 million expansion at the Medford Airport. Those details and much more news coming up right now on NewsWatch 12 at 6.
Live, local, late breaking. This is NewsWatch 12 at 6.
Today, Grants Pass is under the helm of a new mayor and 4 new councilors. They say that they're hoping to bring big changes to a city still dealing with a homelessness crisis. Thank you for joining us tonight for NewsWatch 12 at 6. I'm Haley Gravitt. NewsWatch 12's lead column gives us a first look into their plans.
A new year bringing a new mayor and 4 new councilors to the city of Grants Pass. It's a change for the city and one that some community members say is much needed.
Today marks the beginning of a new chapter in our community's leadership as these dedicated individuals step forward to serve with integrity, vision, and commitment to the people of Grants Pass.
What do a retired teacher, a small business owner, a former drug enforcement counselor, and a military veteran have in common? All 4 are the newest city council members in Grants Pass. Indra Nicholas, Victoria Marshall, Kathleen Crone, and Eric Schlogel took the oath on Monday morning, alongside new Mayor Clint Scherf. It marks a change for the city of Grants Pass, moving in a more conservative direction after Sarah Bristol's term.
The previous council stuck themselves in an echo chamber, did not listen to the community. The community came out in full force and told them and stopped them from doing things. So we want to be more in touch with the community.
One hot button issue in Josephine County, the housing crisis. 7 months after the Supreme Court ruled Grants Pass could ban public camping, the city is under more pressure than ever for a long-term solution. Scherf saying he wants to create jobs and build community involvement.
I'm raising my 4th generation, my namesake in this city, and I want to make it a better place for the people in the future.
I asked Scherf about the city's previous plan to fund the purchase of a low-barrier homeless shelter. This was one of the last resolutions made under Bristol and her council. Scherf telling me he didn't have an update yet, but mentioned gathering more info before moving forward. Mayor Scherf and council set to bring their visions to the table at a special meeting Tuesday night. Reporting in Grants Pass, I'm Leave Column.
And in breaking news tonight, a Klamath Falls man convicted of federal kidnapping, sex, and weapon charges says today he needs more time to file motions in his defense. 30-year-old Nagasi Zubari filed a federal court motion in Medford today. He's asking the court to extend a deadline that it's set for tomorrow for Zubari's motion in his defense. Federal court judge Michael McShane set the deadline last month when he also granted Zubari's requested waiver of counsel. So Zubari is representing himself as his own legal counsel for sentencing this month. He was convicted of kidnapping 2 women in a case involving rape and impersonation of police and usage of a handgun, taser, handcuffs, leg irons, threats, and a homemade cinder block captivity cell to subdue the woman in the Klamath Falls home that he rented from the mayor. Let's check in with Storm Tracker 12 Chief Meteorologist Matt Hoffman for a look at our conditions this evening tonight.
Well, pretty quiet now, Haley. We did see some shower activity earlier today, and that has wrapped up, and we're actually going to see a big change in our weather. It is going to be fairly quiet. We'll stay dry through the next few days. Next storm system we're watching is Friday, but it's looking like a fairly weak one. We've been seeing clouds breaking up across the region into this evening, and with the clear skies, light winds, we'll likely see areas of fog developing tonight. Current temperatures chilly already on the east side, 35 in Lakeview, 33 in Chemult, 40 in Klamath Falls. We're in the upper 40s to around 50 in our west side valleys and along the coast. Winds, still a bit of a breeze out there, but these will diminish for tonight. Look for lows to fall to around 32 in Medford, 35 in Grants Pass. We'll drop down to 24 in Klamath Falls. Low clouds and fog developing for many inland valleys tomorrow morning. Mid to high level clouds will increase across the region for tomorrow afternoon, and that's going to mean some colder temperatures tomorrow for highs compared to what we saw today. today. And as we get into this drier weather pattern, check out our water year numbers. Some big surpluses in Medford, Klamath Falls, and Mount Shasta, below normal in North Bend. But we'll see a quieter stretch of weather over the next 7 days. I'll have more details on this weather pattern change coming up in just a bit.
A public comment period ended about an hour ago for a project that would remove thousands of dead and dying trees in southwestern Oregon. NewsWatch 12's Rocky Walker shares more on this project and some of the opposing opinions on it.
Here in the Applegate Valley, and behind me is an abundance of forest of all different colors: green, red, orange, brown, and a lot of those darker colors. Those trees are dead and dying. Today is the end of a comment period for the Bureau of Land Management to sell off units containing those dead trees.
Throughout the Medford district, we have about 90,000 acres that have dead and dying trees.
Dead and dying conifers are littering southwestern Oregon's forests, dying at exponential rates due to excessive heat domes, and a burrowing beetle. And BLM says it's posing risks to the public.
We have a really good project that we can implement to help reduce safety risks to the public and reduce fire danger.
To salvage this, their SOS plan is to mark units filled with trees they designated as dead or dying. Those tree units will be sold to timber companies who will remove and cut them down. But not everyone is happy. Some local groups are saying this will remove healthy trees in the Applegate forestland.
And what we're finding is green, living, viable stands of trees that survived the recent mortality outbreak. And we think that it's really important that those trees and those stands that survived the mortality outbreak are retained on the landscape.
They say this removal of healthy trees would increase fire risk, with the new trees not being as fire resilient as old ones. They say it'll also remove some of the ecosystem's canopy and the beauty of the area. To put it frank, they say,
we feel that the analysis and the narrative that the BLM has created is just simply dishonest.
While BLM says any removal of green trees would only help the forest due to its need for thinning, saying the forests are too dense as they are, forcing the trees to fight for resources. In Applegate, I'm Rocky Walker reporting.
And it's been over 3 full months of speed limit changes on 3 different sections of road near downtown Medford. NewsWatch 12's Luke Doughton spoke to Medford police about how those reduced speed limits have been impacting the roads.
Asking people to slow down, and I think what these things are showing us is that people aren't slowing down.
Lieutenant Jeff Kirkpatrick with the Medford Police says citations have skyrocketed at Riverside and 8th. Even with the first month only being warnings, the speed and red light camera caught drivers going too fast over 5,600 times in between October and December of 2024. That's up from 163 citations during those same months in 2023. Kirkpatrick says he doesn't want things to be this way, but hopes those citations will hammer home the point to slow down in downtown.
I think we had an auto versus pedestrian crash happened there a couple weeks ago in the crosswalk. There are RCC students going to class. There are people going to businesses. You've got a lot of stuff going on downtown.
Kirkpatrick says they aren't sure how the speed limit changes have affected safety at 8th and Riverside. So far, crash data has been similar at Riverside and 8th from October through December in 2023 and 2024. Kirkpatrick says MPD needs more time and data to see if there are any safety trends. Reporting in Medford, I'm Luke Doughton.
Looking at a follow-up, Medford's airport expansion plan is formally underway tonight. Rogue Valley International Medford Airport is looking for an architect and engineering firm to design an expanded terminal. Its $180 million expansion plan will almost double the terminal size and passenger capacity. Though passengers like its size now, they also support the plan.
I think the big benefit, at least for me, would be not having to have so many layovers, maybe more direct flights. I mean, I'm hopeful.
And that certainly would be nice. The plan has a new 2-story concourse to handle at least 6 aircraft at a time. Phase 1 is just starting. 4 more phases will develop as funding becomes available. Construction is expected to start late next year. And the City of Medford is asking for your feedback on what housing and community development needs are most important for the community. The city has 2 surveys on those topics for the public to fill out. The city says the answers will help guide and update the 5-year plan for housing and community development in Medford. The plan works to identify community needs and guide funding to where the community says a need is present. The surveys are open until January 19th, and a link can be found on our website, kdrv.com. A food truck explosion in Merlin left 1 injured and others embracing food truck safety practices. Rural Metro Fire told NewsWatch 12 the minor explosion was likely caused by a propane issue. The worker who suffered burn injuries was transported to the hospital. As food trucks grow in popularity across the Rogue Valley, some are taking a closer look at safety practices. Those details on the investigation and food truck safety practices can be found at kdrv.com. And looking ahead, 5,000 healthcare workers will be hitting the picket lines at Providence hospitals across Oregon in 4 days. ONA says this is the largest healthcare strike and first strike for physicians in state history. This strike, which includes 11 Providence bargaining units from 8 hospitals and 6 clinics, but physicians will not be striking here in Medford. Nursing contracts ended 9 months ago in March. The open-ended strike begins this Friday at 6 a.m. Providence says that this strike will not affect healthcare operations. And the large spruce tree on the west side of City Hall in Central Point will be removed this week. The tree has been raising some safety concerns after a consultation with Pacific Power. The tree that has traditionally served as the community Christmas tree has been leaning over the years, causing its top to encroach on the safety clearance for the energized power lines along 2nd Street.